There's a type of person who, when they get angry, does something strange. They go completely quiet. No yelling, no slamming doors, no sending the text they'll regret at 2 a.m. They just get still. And the people around them never know what to do with that. They say things like, just tell me what's wrong, or why won't you just say something? And the worst one, you're so cold. But here is what those people don't understand. That silence is not coldness. That silence is control. And control is one of the rarest forms of emotional intelligence on Earth. Today, we are going to decode the psychology of people who go quiet when they're angry. Because what's happening inside that stillness is not what most people think. Stay with me until sign 5. Because it will completely change the way you see yourself. Sign 1, the processing delay. When most people get angry, their amygdala, the brain's threat center, fires instantly, and words come out before thoughts do. That's why people say things in arguments. They spend years trying to take back, but people who go quiet under anger are doing something entirely different. Psychologists call it cognitive reappraisal. It means your brain doesn't accept the first emotional signal as the final one. It pauses. It asks what is actually happening here. Is this worth what I would have to spend to respond right now? That pause isn't weakness. It's what judges do before they deliver a verdict. It's what surgeons do before they cut. You are not too cold to respond. You are too smart to respond wrong. Sign 2, the hidden cost of silence. Now, I have to be honest with you, because this is not just a story about superpowers. There is a shadow side to going quiet, and if you recognize this in yourself, you need to hear it. Some people who go silent under anger are not processing. They are storing, they are putting each hurt into a drawer, closing it, and pretending the drawer doesn't exist until one day someone opens the wrong drawer by accident and everything falls out at once. Psychologists call this emotional suppression, and it is different from self-regulation. Self-regulation means you pause and then process. Suppression means you pause and then never process at all. The question to ask yourself is this: when I go quiet, am I cooling down or am I building a case? Sign 3, the respect test. Here is something quiet people do that they never get credit for. When they are angry at someone, they decide in that silence whether that person deserves their real feelings. Think about that. Most people explode because they care, but caring enough to fight also means caring enough to expose yourself. People who go quiet have learned something different. They have learned that not every person in your life deserves a front row seat to your pain. Not every situation deserves your full emotional investment. Their silence is not indifference, it's discernment. They are deciding who has earned access to the real them. And most people have not earned it. Sign 4, the observation window. There is another thing happening in that quiet that most people never notice. While the person who is yelling is showing you exactly where all their triggers are, the quiet person is watching. They are noticing who stays, who deflects, who apologizes immediately to end the discomfort, and who waits to see what they can get away with. Research on emotional intelligence from the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence shows that high EQ individuals are significantly better at reading social dynamics during conflict, precisely because they are not consumed by their own reaction. When you are quiet in conflict, you are not losing, you are learning, and that knowledge always pays off later. Sign 5, the reason they never see it coming. This is the one I told you to wait for. People who go quiet when angry move differently from others in one specific way. They do not warn you before they decide. The loud person tells you exactly what they might do. They make threats. They set ultimatums they never follow through on. The quiet person says nothing, and then one day you realize they already made the decision. Quietly, without drama, without a scene, they just left or stopped or changed. Researchers call this behavioral disengagement, but people who know one of these people just call it the disappearing act. And what looks cold from the outside is actually the final form of someone who gave you every chance in the silence that you chose not to hear. So, let me leave you with this. Going quiet when you're angry is not avoidance. It is not passive aggression. And it is definitely not weakness. It is what happens when a person has learned the hard way that their words are worth more than using them on people who won't listen, but there is a responsibility that comes with this. Silence can protect you, or it can isolate you. The difference is whether you eventually say the thing that needs to be said to the person who actually deserves to hear it. Now I want to hear from you. When you get angry, do you go quiet, or do you need to say it immediately to process it? Neither one is wrong. But I want to know which one is you. Drop it in the comments. If this video described you better than you could describe yourself, hit that like button. And if you want to keep understanding why your mind works the way it does, subscribe and turn on the bell. We have a lot more to talk about. Until next time, stay quiet, stay focused, and keep winning your own way. See you in the next one.